We're hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal, something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing, a lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
And with these words and this loss, Tebow Mania was born. Tim Tebow was a football player from Nice High School in Florida. After high school, he went to Trinity Christian Academy for a few years before going to University of Florida. His first year in Florida, he didn't really get the start, but he still threw for 5 touchdowns and only 1 interception. After this year, he went off. 2007, he threw for 32 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. 2008, he threw for 30 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. 2009, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. All of Tim Tebow's teammates acknowledged one thing, his amazing leadership on the field and off the field.
Get in here! Let's go! Get in here right now! Get in here! Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives! 30 minutes for the rest of our lives! That's how we're bad in the first half. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody, and we're taking it down the field for a touchdown. I guarantee you that.
Guaranteed.
Look at me.
Let's go.
We got 30 minutes.
Let's go.
For the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
Let's go.
Let's go. Lock arms. Hey, we a team.
Tim Tebow is known to be one of the best college football players of all time. Needless to say, entering the NFL draft, he had very, very high expectations. The 2007 Heisman winner was drafted 25th overall by the Denver Broncos in 2010's NFL draft. The Denver Broncos were only a quarterback away from being a playoff team, so he had very high expectations here. Everybody expected Tim Tebow to be the franchise, but unfortunately, that's not how it went. Tim Tebow wasn't doing great in training camp and his OTAs, and this clip basically explains it all. He got beat out in training camp, so he didn't start the first few games and to learn behind the quarterback. But at the end of the season, it was Tebow Mania time, kinda. Tim Tebow didn't play terrible, but he didn't play anything close to his expectations. Tim Tebow's first season as a Denver Bronco, he only completed half of his passes, threw 5 touchdowns with 3 interceptions, and had a 1-2 record. But that was his rookie year, so there was still hope for Tim Tebow. No hope was gone yet. Year 2, number 15, looked way better than the first year in training camp. He beat out his opponents. Nah, I'm joking. He was still the backup this year. So everyone was disappointed in how bad Tim Tebow was since he had all these high expectations. But after a pitiful 1-3 start from Kyle Orton, Tim Tebow finally got his chance. Tim Tebow finally got his first start of the season against the Miami Dolphins, and he delivered a 0-15 comeback, delivering it into overtime. In overtime, Miami got ball first, and Broncos played some good defense and forced a punt. Tim Tebow delivered a few dimes to set the Broncos up in field goal range, and Matt Prater delivered the 52-yard field goal in overtime, forcing a Broncos win. After this, Tim Tebow got his hype back. Everybody was ready. Tebow Mania was back. Then reality, unfortunately, had to come back, and they lost their next game to the Detroit Lions. But Tebow Mania was not over. He went on a 6-game winning streak with 2 overtime comebacks, and he came stronger than ever. Unfortunately, they ended the season on a 3-game losing streak, finishing the season 8-8. But this was just enough to win them the division, clinching them the playoffs, playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh were highly favored due to how good they were this year, and off of Tebow's 3-game losing streak, they didn't know if he still had it in him. Up to this point, Tim Tebow played a pretty bad game. He only completed 40% of his passes and had 1 touchdown, although 0 interceptions. The Broncos, they were winning 20-6 at halftime, playing a pretty good game against the Steelers, but they weren't ready to go down yet. After halftime, the Steelers outscored the Broncos 17-3, leading the game into overtime. This was the biggest time of Tebow's career. He was in overtime against the 12-4 Steelers in the wild card game of the playoffs. But this here is when something amazing happened.
The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all.
Got him.
Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stiffer got him free to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play.
Tim Tebow delivers a 75-yard touchdown on the first play of overtime. Everybody thought it was Tebow Mania again. Everything was good, but then something bad happened. Nothing can be great forever, and this is where the downfall started. Next week, they're playing Tom Brady in New England, and we all know the Patriots are a powerhouse. Tim Tebow and the Broncos were showing no fear, though. They had all the hope in the world. Unfortunately, that hope led to a 45-10 blowout loss. Tim Tebow took 5 sacks while only completing 9 of 26 passes for 130 36 yards. The Broncos then decided it's time to move on from Tim Tebow and traded him away to the Jets in the offseason. Unfortunately, he only got the role as a backup and only played in the preseason due to Mark Sanchez being the starting quarterback. He then moved on to the Eagles, and since he's never played in the NFL. Tim Tebow then dealt with some legal issues and fought accusations of soliciting a prostitute. At this point, Tim Tebow hit rock bottom. He went from one of the greatest football prospects of all time to being in jail. Then out of all things Tim Tebow would do, the most unexpected in my opinion, he signed with a baseball team, the New York Mets. And honestly, he wasn't terrible. He played halfway decent on the New York Mets. Then in 2019, Tim Tebow decided to become like the Kardashians and start a reality TV show called The $1 Million Mile. Although the show fucking sucked. It was not good at all. It was probably worse than Keeping Up with the Kardashians, if I'm being honest. Tim Tebow had some talks about coming to the NFL on Jimmy Fallon and Ellen and stuff like that, but everybody thought it was just bullshit and he wasn't coming back. Although he did have talks about coming back to the NFL with Bill Belichick and the Patriots, but as a different position. They didn't know what position it was yet, though. So it's 2021. Nobody even remembers Tim Tebow. He's long gone by now and nobody thinks he's coming back. And this here is when a miracle happens. Tim Tebow signs a 1-year contract with the Jags, and let me tell you, he is looking ripped. He looks jacked, and he's playing actual good football. His first day of practice, he catches 2 touchdowns from Trevor Lawrence, although it did come with a little bit of controversy. Everybody thinks he was only signed because of the coach Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer and Tebow go way back to their college days in Florida. Coach Urban Meyer always saw Tim Tebow as a son to him, and they had an amazing bond. NFL players shared their opinions on social media, some being positive, some being negative, but either way, it didn't really matter. Tim Tebow's been through controversy before, and he's going to go through controversy again, but the question is, can he handle it this time or not? Last time, Tim Tebow let a lot of people down, and he didn't live up to his expectations. This time, will he be able to prove the doubters wrong? Tim Tebow's been given yet another chance, but this time, he has to make the best out of it, because this might be the last one he gets. In my opinion, I have no clue how Tim Tebow will turn out. He could either be amazing, he could be average, or he could just be downright terrible. All I can say is he looks really good in training camp right now, but I don't know how he'll do in actual games. Only time will tell if Tim Tebow's legacy ends here or it will continue, but I guess we'll only have to wait to see.
Tim, on behalf of the Sugar Bowl, it's my great pleasure to congratulate you for a tremendous game, magnificent career, and award you our Most Outstanding Player Award. Congratulations.